Hey, Keegan. Just, I guess, the second time you're seeing these guys in 3 games, just what'd you make of tonight and just kind of the effort you guys had?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've been good. We feel like we put ourselves in a good position to win each game. It's just been little moments where they pull away, which has been the second half, and then we're just trying to claw it back late in the game, and at that point.
Have some interesting matchups and everything that Doug's thrown out there. Does it feel is I don't know if slogging is the right word or just kind of like it just feels kind of grimy?
Yeah, I mean, there's times where it feels pretty stand stillish, or there's kind of no flow. But I mean, we've worked on the continuity of our offense a lot, but I don't think we're really implementing it in the game right now. So it's really choppy, hard to score, shooting a lot of tough shots.
Keegan, we know you always had confidence in your shooting ability regardless of the circumstance, but that 3-point shot, how do you, I guess, feel about it right now? And do you feel it's just so close but not quite there?
I mean, it's a make or miss league. I mean, there's times where you're gonna miss a lot of shots, go through a funk, whatever. But I mean, every time I shot, it felt good. So it's nothing that I'm worried about. I'm just trying to find my rhythm. That's pretty much it.
Keegan, the young guys are getting out there and playing a ton. I don't know, how has that been for you? And do you see like a huge upside with guys like Max?
Yeah, I mean, Max has been playing well. He's still figuring out kind of the physicality of the game. But he's been playing well, especially offensively. And then Neek's kind of been in and out of the rotation, but I feel like today he played well defensively and offensively. So I think for them it's just getting more playing time, get through a full NBA season, and just build from there.
Keegan, is there getting you more minutes at the 3? Does that change anything in terms of like how and where you're getting your shots, or is it all kind of coming the same way?
It's just, I mean, I feel like it just opens up a little more opportunity for me to be aggressive, and I think just opens up the floor a little bit more, especially I think to start games. When I'm at the 3, I start really well. So, yeah, I mean, I enjoy playing it, but, I mean, structurally our team needs me to play the 4 at this point.
Your blocked shots are way up, and across the board, defensive metrics are amongst the top in the league, period. Another leap for you defensively. Anything different? Anything changed? What has gone into that for you?
I think it's just trying to be more aggressive. In the off season, I feel like last year I was really good just guarding the ball, being solid, and I think just the next step for me is trying to get more steals, blocks, deflections, things like that to try and change the game. So that's been a point of emphasis in my growth as a defensive player. Yeah.
Dennis, guys have dropped 4 or 5 in a row here. Just where's the frustration level, especially with, close games like this where you guys are getting closer to being like in the hunt at the end of a game?
I mean, got to figure out how we win games at the end of the game, down the stretch. Try to get, stops on the defensive end, offensively. Find the right guys to get some scores at the end of the day.
Max looks more and more comfortable in the pick and roll. You and Russ getting a lot of opportunities in the pick and roll with him. What are you noticing just from how he's settled into kind of that role?
Yeah, he understands the game. Rookie who, have IQ for the game and who likes to play pick and roll. I think he can finish a little bit, not better, but quicker around the rim. But we're gonna work with him. I'm gonna keep talking to him. I think he got, sky's the limit for him for his play and for his career. And he just gotta keep getting better.
So much of what you guys had success tonight was when you came off the bench with Neek and some of those guys. Just where do you feel like maybe some of the success is coming with some of those guys and some of the progressions they're making?
Playing fast, share the ball, and play with joy.
Dennis, the last couple games, you guys have been right there, very competitive, playing hard. I don't know, just what's your assessment of just that, the way, you guys are going hard, and I imagine being in games, you draw more energy from that than having games that are just getting away from you early and you never get back into it. Is there something to that where you guys are drawing energy from that, or is it have something to do with who's playing and how motivated like guys might be to get out there and show what they can do?
Yeah, I mean, we got to compete on the highest level. Every single second we on the floor, it don't matter who it is. Find the right matchups or the right people who needs to play and who does the things we preaching every single day, and then live with the results. Get better every single second, every single day when we practice, and then I think it's going to start, creating a culture or identity where we want to get to.
You mentioned that second unit playing with pace. Obviously, there's that transition, but how much does that also take place in the half court? How important is playing with pace there to what you guys are trying to do?
Yeah, I think we, as a group, we have to play fast. Have a couple of guys who can play ISO, but at the end of the day, I think playing fast and everybody touching it, everybody's moving it, touching the paint, spray out for threes. That's where the league is going to right now, and I think we got to do a better job of just pushing it and play with each other. And yeah. Thank you.
Doug, the compete level was there tonight. You guys, again, it's a make or miss league and all that stuff, but you guys did compete well. Is that, especially with these young guys, is that what you're really looking for out of this team?
Yeah, ultimately, I thought defensively we were better, and we're in the hunt. As you mentioned, the competition level is higher, and that's what we need. And you have to be in the hunt, and then once you get there, you have to, like, execution down the stretch, missing 10 free throws. Like, those are the things that are going to get us over. But first and foremost, you got to compete at a high level and be in the hunt. And that's when we go back and look at the film, I'm sure defensively we were better tonight. And, we did a pretty good job in Portland as well. But that's the biggest thing is we have to compete at a high level. And then in this league, you have to learn how to win games. And that's where we're at right now.
Doug, where do you think that's coming from? Is it just who you're putting out there and that, in some cases these are guys that are either young and or just have a lot to prove?
Yeah, I mean, listen, whoever we put out there, you want them to compete at a high level, but the energy, obviously, that some of these young guys bring in, Max and, especially Dylan and Neek, they up the level when it comes to the ability to fly around the floor and make sure that we're rebounding the basketball with the two bigs when we do have them out there. That's huge because we are going to play teams that play two bigs, and without a lot of practice time, we have had a few days recently that we were able to practice. Sometimes, you're trying to figure it out on the floor how to work with those two. And it can be frustrating sometimes, but the point is they play with their heart, they fly around, and if you're going to compete at that level, those are the things that we live with.
Doug, speaking of Dylan, you know what it is to have a connection with this fan base. He seems to feed off them and them him with just his reactions, even after blocking shots. Yeah. What do you make of the importance of that and what that brings to a team?
I've said many times Golden One Center is going to define itself at some point, and that's going to be, obviously as we continue to compete, then we start to learn to win, and all of a sudden it starts to define itself, and it defines itself with guys like that who play like that, and they know what to expect when he hits the floor and the energy that he brings and the passion that he brings and how he goes about his business on a night-to-night basis. So super, super proud of the way that he got out there and played tonight.
Coach, this is a second consecutive game that Malik Monk didn't play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is this going to be kind of a game-by-game decision moving forward?
Well, we made the decision to go with Keon. Similar situation when Keon wasn't playing. Malik was the one. It's a log jam there. We're 6-22. We're trying something different. I mean, we're going to turn over all the rocks and try to make sure that we are locked in on that. So, not necessarily permanent. No, not at all. Like I told him, stay ready. You don't know. Your number may be called, and when it's called, you got to step up the same way that Keon was doing when he was on the sideline. And it was like, Keon, well, he's getting his opportunity and played not as well tonight as he did in Portland, but the energy and all those things that we want, he was bringing that. So not necessarily permanent, but we made a decision to go in that direction with the record that we have. And listen, we're gonna figure it out. Like I said, the first part is the compete part. That is escalating in the right direction. Now it's going to be learning how to finish. These aren't games where we're down by 20 and losing by 30 points. These are games that are close, and now we have to figure out how to execute, make free throws, playing with different lineups. How do those lineups look? This is not the lineup that we necessarily saw that we or thought that we would get at the beginning of the season. We've never played with our proposed starting lineup, not one time this year. So right now, we're searching and trying to make sure that we're putting a product out there that the fans are absolutely proud of, and that's just the bottom line.
Doug, how tough has it been for you to balance all that stuff? I'm sure as a former player, I'd imagine that you know where these guys are coming from. They want to be out there all the time, and you're trying to balance it. But what has that been like for you, and how receptive have Keon, now Malik, been in these conversations?
They've been great. It's difficult, man. This seat is different than my previous seat, but I oddly enough enjoy, obviously, pain because this stuff is painful for me. I live and breathe this. I want to not only be great at my job, but I want to be great for this team. I want to be great for the city. I want our team to be great for the city. And I understand the things that you have to go through to get there. And that's the pain part. It's just extremely difficult. But I'm not going to back up. I'm going to keep on going, and we will get it right. I'm not worried about that. The main thing is that the product that hits the floor, first and foremost, it plays extremely hard. That's number one. Like, we can get into execution and all these different things. We're not there yet. We got to get to that point where we competing hard. Now we get to execution and finalizing a game. We're getting there, but we're not there yet for sure.
Doug, the first 20-plus games felt like a really heavy veteran team and not playing the style that you want.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing a lot of young players, and they are playing the style you want. You're trying to balance it. How hard is that balance?
Yeah.
The older guys with the younger guys, but also that connectivity that these young guys seem to have?
Yeah, it's difficult, obviously, but change is hard. It is. There's a style, and that is up-tempo, aggressive, physical, all those things that we see them in spurts, and even our veterans, we see them do it too, but it's in spurts, and we have to have it at a consistent level, and that's where the finishing comes into play, and we will get there. There's going to be a tipping point. The other night was about as tough as it gets. Tonight, I like the compete level. I like the defense, but now it's the ability to finish. And once you do that in this league, I know one thing, you begin to feel good about yourself. Winning can mask some things. You're going through this and you're obviously not winning, but at the same time, you are improving. And that's where we have to continue to go down every single day. And these little victories that we see on film and the type of defense, the type of rebound, and the type of communication that we want as our baseline for what we do, we have to have it. It's an absolute must. You can't skip steps.
Doug, you're starting Keegan at the 3. You
Yep.
want to play him at the 3.
Yep.
There's, with the injury situation, there's nothing stopping you from playing. But then he's going to the 4 late in these last
Yeah.
couple games, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
seems like you guys have probably played a little better with that lineup, whatever it is, with him over there. So what's going on there? Is that an adjustment? Is
Well,
it?
Yeah, I think that some teams like what is a 4, but like when you're playing big 4s, like we did in Minnesota, that's a little different. You don't necessarily want Keegan down there battling with a guy that's 300 or 270 pounds, and then he's trying to go to the other end and shoot jump shots. That's difficult. Many times, in my opinion, sometimes he's going similar. I experience the same thing. You go to the other end of the floor to rest, and we don't want him resting on the other end of the floor. We want him being able to compete at a high level. So a lot of times when you're talking about those teams are a little smaller. Now we're going to face a team tomorrow night that's not going to be that way. They play big. So that's what I mean. Like, do we want Keegan matching up against, their 4 or whatever? No, you don't. You want him playing his natural position. And listen, that's going to be tough to work through that as well. But this is part of the process that we go, because he has to find that rhythm. He has to figure out what it is to play that position and be successful. I mean, the kid is a hell of a player, and he's gonna, I'm not worried about Keegan. It's more about him gaining the experience. Like, that's really the biggest thing. He needs the reps at that position on both ends of the floor. We need, as a team, which is difficult because we don't have a lot of people. But the point is to figure out how to get him shots in certain times. And that can be difficult too, because you're playing with 2 bigs. You're trying to find that rhythm of that as well. So listen, not excuses. It's just it is what it is, and we'll figure it out as we continue to go down it. But super proud of the way that Keegan competes on a night-to-night basis. Like, no argument here with what you see from him. He plays basketball the right way, and he will find his rhythm at that position, no doubt about it.
Doug, kind of similar along those lines with Keegan. Obviously, it's well documented, his effort on the defensive end.
Yep.
From your seat, was particularly with his 3-point shot so far this season, 0 for 6 today, shooting in the mid 20%.
Yep.
What have you seen any sort of change there, or what can you do as a coach and a staff to kind of maybe put him in a position to get going from there?
Well, that's what I was just saying, is trying to find, we have different sets that try to bring him off of a quick pin down to get him a shot, or just to get him downhill. And part of that is, to the previous question, is playing at that position, at the 3. There's a read that comes into that position. So he has to come off of those pin downs, and he has to read, am I open? Is the guy trailing? Is he going under? I've seen some teams go under on Keegan Murray, which is crazy, in my opinion, to go underneath the screen. But if he doesn't read it properly at that particular time, that's how they get away with that. So that's where he needs to read the game, slow down a little bit, and make sure that he's taking full advantage. We get to the penalty, we want him to be super aggressive, because one thing that I do know about shooters, whether they're shooting the ball at a high level or missing shots, doesn't matter. They go to the free throw line and they see a ball go in. That is like the worst thing that you ever want to see, because as soon as they see it go in once, it's possible that it just continues to go in. So there are a lot of different aspects that we want to see Keegan continue to develop. And getting to the free throw line tonight, he was 1 for 1. Like, it's not enough, and he has to figure out how to do that. We have to figure out how to put him in those positions, and then once we put him in a position, he just has to figure out how to take advantage of it. But it's not going to happen if he's playing different positions. He needs to be at his position, and when he's there, learn how to take advantage of that. So we'll continue to make sure and take care of him. Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Yep.